What's up guys, today I thought I'd do an updated test video of what's the best Nerf dart in the year 2021. There have been a couple of new releases since the last time I did a video like this one, but just to clear things up, I won't be covering full length darts because they suck, same with Hyper, Rival and Ultra. What I will be covering today though are 3 different darts from the Chinese owned company Dart Zone and a 4th dart from the Chinese company Worker. Let's get started. First of all, let's introduce each type of dart, starting with these ones. These are the oldest dart of the lot, sold on Dart Zone's own website. Unfortunately, they're bundled in with full-length darts, which are a bit useless if you want accuracy. They come in, I think it's a 240 round pack, with 120 of them being these half-lengths and 120 being full-lengths, which you have to chuck away or trade with someone who actually wants them. Dart Zone actually calls these pro darts, but the majority of the hobby calls them bamboo darts, due to the thinner bit of foam in the center, giving it that kind of bamboo-ish look. The next oldest dart we have here are called the Adventure Force Tactical Strike Pro darts, often shortened to the name AF Pro by hobbyists. These are sold at Walmart exclusively in the USA, however a lot of different people import these around the world to different resellers, such as Blastertech here in Australia. Now, recently, Dart Zone released this one called the Max Dart, sold exclusively at Target in the USA. I believe Target are the competitors to Walmart, someone correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not American. But internationally, people will be importing these fairly shortly, such as Blastertech here in Australia as well. And finally, this here is the latest version of the Worker dart. Worker were the first ones to ever mass produce half-length darts, but as their glue quality kind of suffered, Adventure Force Pro and other Dart Zone darts kind of took over the market. Just like the others, these are also made in China. However, these are distributed to independent resellers around the world, so you should be able to find someone near you who sells these. These were actually sent to me by a brand new retailer here in Australia called Blaster Haven. They operate entirely through a Discord server, so I'll leave a link to their Discord server down below if you want to check them out. Taking a look at all 4 of these darts next to each other, it's quite clear that the Worker dart, the most recent release of all of these, quite clearly copied the colour of the AF Pro. The worst thing about the AF Pro. Dark coloured darts are really hard to find on the ground compared to other colours, and much harder to see in gameplay footage. However, Worker are also bringing out a red coloured version of this, so I'd recommend getting those instead of these black ones. I'm not sure when they'll be available, but they are on their way. In future though, dart manufacturers, I find that the colour white is easiest to see in gameplay footage, and of all of the ones here, these green ones are actually the easiest to see in gameplay footage. Although easiest to find on the ground, out of all of these is probably the red. So the first thing I'm going to do is commit dart genocide by ripping off a few heads off the darts to test the glue quality. So bamboo darts, as you'd expect, are well and truly on there, nice and securely glued. AF Pros, about the same as the bamboos, as you'd expect, being the same company. And now the Max darts. Whoa, that actually feels stronger to rip off than those 2 did. Okay. And then finally, Worker, who we know in the past have had some of the worst glue on the market. That was almost glued as well as these 3, but still lacking compared to what Dart Zone's doing. So whatever Dart Zone's doing over there in China, I don't know, you've copied the colour, now copy the glue. All 4 of these dart types weigh pretty much the same at 1.0 grams, although the AF Pros weigh slightly less at 0.95. Not enough to affect velocity numbers, so I wouldn't suspect that these are going to go faster than the others. But now let's head outside and test the darts. The blaster I'll be using today is the Sabre M20 construct with the Auto Prime kit installed. It's the most accurate blaster I own, so it should be best for these tests today. I'll be starting with a velocity test, 1 full magazine of darts with 5 of each type, starting with the green bamboos. Bamboo's got a high of 268, low of 261, and an average of 264. Now we try AF Pros. AF Pros got a high of 272, low of 250, and an average of 263. So the average is only dropped by 1 FPS. Now let's try max darts. We got a high of 273, low of 255, and an average the same as AF Pros on 263. Not surprisingly at all, the 3 different darts from Dart Zone all performed fairly similarly in velocity. Now let's try worker darts. Worker darts got a high of 277, low of 275, and an average of 276. Not only did Worker outpace the others by 12 FPS on average, but Worker also got a range of 275 FPS to 277 FPS, a difference of 2. It's the narrowest variation I've ever seen in a Nerf blaster or Nerf dart. Now in a moment I'll do an accuracy test, but first I want to show you something else that Blaster Haven sent me. This is their adjustable Picatinny rail. It can be useful if you're trying to zero your blaster for long range, but can't seem to adjust your optic low enough. In my case, it allows me to adjust the elevation of both my scope and my scope cam simultaneously, so they stay in line with each other. It also quick detaches if you want to use it on multiple blasters. Link to Blaster Haven's Discord down below. But now let's set up 30 meters away from the target and test accuracy. 12 shots of each dart, starting with green bamboos. Not bad at all, every shot hit the 1 meter diameter target. Now let's see AF Pros. AF Pros are not bad either. All but one hit the target. Now let's see max darts. The max darts were amazing, shooting a little to the right of my 0, but the spread is much tighter than the Bamboos or AF Pros. I'll just quickly mention that the talent mag I loaded the worker darts into wasn't feeding correctly, so I'm manually operating the blaster with the remote switch on the side.
Oh, this is a dodgy mag. Alright, we need to fire one more dart out of this. There we go.
Straight off the bat, the worker darts shot higher on the target than the others did, making me think they're probably more aerodynamic. The grouping was also incredible. So now let's take another look at the others. The first darts I shot were Bamboos, then it was AF Pros, then max darts, and ending with workers. The best two were definitely max darts and workers, so let's erase the others and just compare them. If I center both as though we had zeroed the blaster, this makes it very obvious that the workers have the tightest grouping, followed closely by the max darts though. Now, one final test I want to do is comparing the range that these darts fly. It looked like the worker darts shot higher on the target than the others, so that could mean worker darts fly the furthest, but let's confirm that by shooting down this alleyway.
This won't be maximum range because there's trees above, so I have to aim a bit lower than what's actually possible. But we'll see which one is better aerodynamically. There we go. Let's take the rangefinder and see how far they went. First dart here, green bamboo dart, 38 meters. a red max dart, 46 meters, 2 more bamboos almost next to each other, 51 meters, got 2 Adventure Force Pros, also at 51 meters, 2 more max darts, that's ticked over to 52 meters. Ooh, we have our first worker dart and an Adventure Force Pro at 55 meters. Then we have our other 2 worker darts at 56 meters. Obviously, if you don't have trees overhead, you can aim higher and get about 70 meters out of your Nerf gun, but that's just a distribution of how far each type of dart goes. So overall, I think my testing was quite fair, and the worker darts again and again kept coming out on top. I'd have to give second place to the max darts, with the AF Pros and Bamboos coming in last. It is good though to see the newer ones improving on the old, because isn't that how it's supposed to work? Anyway guys, thanks for watching this video, and I hope this has helped you decide which dart to get. I'll personally be going with the worker darts in red, although I'd really love it if they did them in white again. Even though pulling the heads off the worker, they're a little easier to pull off than the other 3. I didn't get any decaps in my testing, so I would take the accuracy gain over the other 3. That's it for this video guys, hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'll see you on the next one.